Today I'm here to repair a Ford Transit Custom, and today, well, I got the pump. I've been here and diagnosed it already. Looking at the fuse box under the bonnet, this relay that's missing, I dropped it down there, but I'll fish that out in a bit. That's the one for the fuel pump. Now, for whatever reason, I'll show you what I was doing with my power probe. The battery's dead, so I might not be able to do this just now. But, see, yeah, I got a little voltage there. That's the power all the time. That's the power to the fuel pump. Notice it doesn't go green. If the fuel pump was working, that would be green, because it's got continuity through the fuel pump to a ground. There's the one that does go green when I put the ignition on. And there's the power. This is the control side here. So it's got power. As soon as you put the ignition on, this does go green. I've checked that. The relay would latch over and send power down to this one. Relay works. There's the power in with the ignition off. As soon as you put the ignition on and it wants the fuel pump to run, it goes out of that one. So basically what I've got here is a little diagram. The 12 volts in, and then that's the pump. Then we've got the 12 volts all the time on the control side and the controlled ground. Now here's where things go weird. I went under the pump. There was only so far I could check it, and I went to get the pump. Checked it here at the wires, just pierced into the wires, the same wires. It was yellow with a grey stripe for the power and black with a violet stripe for the ground. It's only when I dropped the pump I was like, what's going on? Somebody decided to rewire it. The yellow and the so there's the yellow one, right? That one, yellow and grey, and the black and violet, that's the power and the ground. Someone's joined them both together. They're both one wire now. So if it did get power on that relay, it would go all the way down to the yellow and grey here, and then back along to wherever the black and violet ends up. I gotta remember that, but for now the other thing we've looked at is how they've wired it to work. So they've got a black wire goes into the ground, it's connected to an I terminal, short piece of wire, just goes to here. And they've got another wire that goes to the fuel pump, the power, where you would put the power. It's joined onto the yellow and the grey. And then if I could show you that. It's this one. I don't think you'll see it, but that's the yellow and grey one at the end of there. That one is the power position. Okay. What was the other one? Let me take that off. Get a better look at it. Of course, it didn't want to come off now. There's a better picture. The yellow and the grey goes all the way to the front, and the black and violet goes up to there. This is what somebody's done to it. I didn't expect to see this. So this has got to change. I have powered up with this, with a power probe, and the pump works. So I don't need a pump, so I'm going to have to see if I can return it. Hopefully I can. At least I've not even took it out of the box. I've not tried it yet. So, what my thought is, get rid of all this crap wiring and go back to standard, because the standard seems to work. I don't know what they're doing, but I'll show you. I gotta show you what they've done. This is another relay. This is what they've added. We've got the blue and red wire that they've found somewhere, 12 volts, and this is the load side of the relay. And then the pump, when it's connected, it'll go to the pump. Then they've got the control side of it. They've got a permanent ground from an I terminal and the controlled power, which they've taken off this wiper motor back here. See that? They've gone into that power of the wiper motor switches on the control side to this relay that they've put down there that's all rusty, corroded, might be a better word, and even one of the wires has the live wire from the wiper motor. It wasn't even in there, it's fallen out. Don't think they've crimped it. Look at that, they've hardly crimped those wires. They're not squashed. The other one, the I terminal's just there for the control side. So when the wiper motor gets its power, which comes on with the ignition because it's a LIN bus style, power ground and LIN bus, when the ignition's on, that gets its power, grounds out this corroded relay, and then we can see the other side of it. We've got the power through a fuse, an inline fuse, and they've gone into that blue and red. Then the other side is the same black wire that goes all the way to the tank. So why would they join the two wires together? I don't get that. Anyway, I just drew a picture to try and get my head around what they've done. So I want to put it back to normal. What I'm going to try and do, is just, I know I get power down that wire when I put the ignition on. So I'm just going to put their wiring back to how it should be. I'll cut it where they've joined the two together. And I've also tried, I don't know if I said, I've tried the fuel pump with a power probe. It actually works if you go straight to it. So I'm going to just put, well, they've cut the ground as well. They've cut the ground and the other one. I might just try and put the wires back to how they should be. I know that the power gets down there, and the ground wire works. I'll try putting it back to how it should be and see how it works. I think it's just their relay. But what I don't understand is, why have they done it? Is there a fault with a wire or somewhere in the original circuit? I don't know. So I'm going to start with the power wire, join that back together, because I'm sure I'll show you again that I've checked that when you get the relay to latch over at the front, the power does get to the back. We'll show you that in a second. I've used the test light from the power into the pump side. See where it goes to the pump? This is the original wiring, forget this one for now. Put a test light, it's not lit up because it's not got a ground. Okay, here we go. So I got the other ends both cut. They were joined together by somebody. Don't know why. We got the power, like I say, the battery's dead, so got the power and the ground. So I haven't load tested it. I'm only using that. Now if I give that a ground, I'm going to go to the front and see the test lights. I know that's not as much load as a fuel pump, I know that, but it's just to see. So I'm using the ground that's part of the test light, part of the Autel power scope, or whatever it's called, and that's lighting this. So that way is okay. I'm going to load test the other side, the ground. I've stuck the test light into the ground wire, the black and violet. The other end of the test light's connected to this, and as you can see I've got a ground path. I'm going to give it power, and it lights the test light. Take the power away. I've only load tested them with this, but I'm not sure why they've done what they've done, so I'm just going to connect it back to standard and see if this actually goes. I've wrapped the wires up, joined them all back together. I've not removed the old stuff yet, the old wires. They're not connected at the other end. But this is back to standard, how it should be. Now I've got those two pipes there to connect back to the fuel filter up there. Took them off at that end so I didn't pull on anything whilst I was lowering the tank. Raise the tank up, put fuel back in it. I'm going to see if it works. I've tested the pump here, but I haven't load tested it. I suppose I could do that at the other end now with the power probe, just connect it up and see if fuel comes out of one of these pipes over there. So like I was saying before, that should be green. And it is green. And if I power it up, we might just hear the pump. I can hear it, I don't know if you can, but that's probably shut maybe a bit of diesel out of that pipe. Yeah, there it is. So, success. Gotta make sure the wires were the right way round so I'm not pumping the fuel the wrong way. That's it. It looks like we're good, and we know this one gets its power when we start the car. That one's got powered all the time. This one gets its ground, when we start the car. We did that test last time I came out to do my first check. Would be better if I could show you that, or maybe try and show you that once I get a jump pack set up. Well, I'll try it now. I've got this set up now with the buzzer on so we could hear it from inside, and it should go green into the one that gives it the control. I need to switch this on. There's not much life left in this, so I'll try and get it quick. It's going to die soon. There's no ground on that. Let's put the ignition on. It's on now. There we go. There's the ground. My contact's not great, but that's fine. It's just the way this is. And there. Okay, so we're good. Now that it's running, I'm going to run through the 4 pins. 14, 7 again, 14. That's one side of it. The other side, got a ground, so this must be the control side. 14, 7, 15 again. So this is the load test. Using that, I'm doing a load test using the actual wires, the actual pump. I could have used a headlight bulb or something brighter that would be enough to say more than that little test light that I had. But I'm happy it's all working. We're not using that, whatever it is at all. We've just put this on. I didn't need the pump. Pump's working fine. Put the diesel back in it. All I've got to do is brake pads. Nice easy job, but hopefully this is, well, it's unlikely this is going to be the same fault that you get. Unless somebody's messed about with the wires on another car, and I can't make much sense of what they've done or why they've done it when it all seems to work anyway. Maybe there was an intermittent fault from the fuse box back, but it's all working now. If there is a fault, sometimes you're better doing it right than messing about with it. Thanks for watching.